Do you struggle to understand the ISO 14001-2015 requirement for an internal audit? Do you have concerns that you may have to conduct your internal EMS audit on an annual basis? An ISO interpretation could help you to more fully understand whether internal audit is an annual requirement. Let's take a look. Welcome to EMSmastery, where we look at the strategies and tactics to be successful in environmental management. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Andrew Marlow. This episode looks at one of the interpretations given by the ISO Technical Committee TC207 Subcommittee 1, which is the subcommittee responsible for ISO 14001-2015 and other associated environmental international standards. The interpretation process operates as an escalation of an interpretation inquiry from a national member body, such as BSI in the UK and ANSI in the United States, with all interpretation inquiries reviewed on an annual basis and their results published on the Subcommittee 1 website. It is important to note that its interpretations do not change the requirements in ISO 14001, but are intended to give users a better understanding on ISO 14001 and its application by organisations in establishing an environmental management system. The question about internal audit was raised by the American National Standards Institute, ANSI, and relates to the intent of Clause 9.2. The question asked was, does ISO 14001 Section 9.2 require that the organisation conducts its internal EMS audit on an annual basis? A quick recap on Clause 9.2.2 in its first part shows that it is a requirement for the organisation to establish, implement and maintain an internal audit programme, which shall include the frequency, methods, responsibilities, planning requirements and reporting requirements of its internal audits. Additionally, the internal audit programme should take into consideration the environmental importance of the processes concerned, changes affecting the organisation and the results of previous audits. So, back to the question. The interpretation response gives an emphatic answer of no. It restates that Section 9.2.2 requires an organisation to establish the frequency of its environmental management system audits. So, it is the responsibility of the organisation to set the frequency for the internal audit. It further clarifies that the frequency is not defined by ISO 14001, so there is no explicit requirement for the internal audit to be conducted on an annual basis, unless the organisation wants to set that frequency for itself. So, to summarise, the ISO TC207 Subcommittee 1 interpretation clarifies that there is no explicit requirement for the frequency of internal audits to be on an annual basis. The organisation itself has the freedom to determine the frequency of the internal audit. Further information on this interpretation is given in the description box below, including a link to the resources at the EMSmastery.com website. If this episode has helped to advance your understanding of the internal audit requirements of ISO 14001-2015, please subscribe to this YouTube channel to ensure that you don't miss out on future episodes on environmental management and sustainability. Until then, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch other episodes by clicking on the boxes in the top and bottom right, and to subscribe to this channel, you can click on the link to the left. Thank you.